And hello everyone, welcome back to another Pascal tutorial. In this tutorial, we'll be taking a look at data types and variables. So in the previous tutorial, I did do this, but with Linux, which will also probably work on Mac OS. However, in this tutorial, I want to show you how to run Pascal and stuff on Windows. So first off, I would recommend you get Delphi Community Edition. It is free for the first year. Just create a new email whenever you want to use it again, because it's free for the first year, but then you have to pay for it. Just get a new email every time you want it. A throwaway email. Anyhow, so what you could do is you could say File, New, Console Application, and here it will generate a console application for you. You won't have to worry, your font won't be this overly massive. Mine is just this big because why not? Cool. Then you just want to say File, Save As. And here I'm just going to create a new folder. We can call it 2. Because personally, to me, it doesn't matter. You might have a specific folder you want to save these things in, whatnot. You can name this whatever you want. Just make sure the .dproj extension stays there. This is like the .pas for Pascal. And you can name this whatever you want. I'm just going to keep it project 1, save. If you press Ctrl and D, then it will format your code for you. This is one thing I really love about Delphi. So if we go like this and we say sleep, and it's 5000, and I'll explain this in a second, and we do this. When we do this, we press Ctrl D, it will format it for us, and then just Ctrl S to save. If this here is green, it means your code has been saved. So this line here has not been saved. If I press Ctrl and S, or if I go here and say save, it will become green because it has been saved. Cool. Now, this sleep here is what you can use instead of read key. So you'll notice in my previous video, I left a comment saying if you're on Delphi, you have to use sleep instead of read key. Now, what sleep does, it just, if we run, then you'll note the terminal doesn't just appear and go away. It stays here for a few seconds, in this case 5 seconds, because this is 5,000 milliseconds, which translates to 5 seconds. But if we were to comment this out and then run it, you'll notice it just pops up and goes away. Cool. Introduction has been skipped or completed. Let's continue. So what exactly is a data type? Now, a data type is basically what type of information you want to store or have. In our case, we can have a ton. We could have integers. Now, an integer is a whole number. So -9, 99, 32, 1, 0, -2. All these are considered integers. You also get a real, also known as a double. Now, a double is double the size of a real, but we don't need to get too deep into that yet. Now, this is like an integer, but it can have floating point value. So, -9.21, 3.14159, and 99.0, -99.0. These are all real doubles, floating point values, all of these. Next up, you also have things like Boolean. So, Boolean. This is true, which would be yes, or false, which would be no. So, true or false, that's Boolean. So, it's yes or no, 1 or 0. And then, finally, you have string. Now, a string is a piece of text. So, this is a string. This is a string. Take note, strings use single quotes, not double quotes, single quotes. Anyways, a string is just a piece of text. You also have subsets of this, like a character, and a character would be something along the lines of just one character instead of a whole string. So X or 8 in quotation marks, 1, A, all of these are characters, whilst a string is basically more than one character. So this is a character and this is a string. Cool. Now let's talk about variables. What exactly is a variable? A variable is like a little box that can store something for you. So let's say you want to move from one place to another. So you want to change houses. You have been living in Toronto for, let's say, 5 years, but now you want to move to Mississippi. Well, then you will need a bunch of boxes that will store things for you. Now you can think of these boxes as variables, and what's inside of them is their values. You can think of it as like that. So let's say I want to store someone's name. Now I can create a box and I can put someone's name in that box, and whenever I need their name, I can just get the box and take their name out. If this is a little bit confusing, don't worry, we'll actually go and show you an example. So to declare variables, you need to use the var keyword before this initial begin here. Now this var keyword will allow us to specify variables such as age, which is of type integer. So this age box will store a number value. So this variable age will store an integer. Similarly, we could do something such as first name, which will store a string. Take note of my naming convention. You cannot use spaces. This will be two different variables. So first name, and we're using camel case. You could also use Pascal case, or you could use camel case, or you could use snake case. However, snake case is somewhat discouraged in Pascal, so I would recommend not using snake case, but camel case or Pascal case. On the end of the day, the casing doesn't matter that much, just so you know what's happening. So here I know this is first and then it's a new word name. If it was just one small word, I will have to go first, and then I will have to automatically determine, this is its own new word. And the more words you add, of course, the bigger it gets. First name is very cool or not. So the longer this is, the more difficult it will become to read. But if it's camel case, then first name is cool or not. And now it's automatically way easier to read. Anyhow, so now we have a box that can store a text value. And let's say we want another box that will store a string. So now we could go and say their hobby. And this is also a string. Now you could do this. You could declare them on their own separate lines. However, I actually prefer to do this, using one line to store everything of the same data type. So instead of having like 15 lines with the same data type just underneath each other, we have one line with all 15 in it. And this will assign both of these the data type of string. And then finally, we can create one more letter, and this will just be char. Well, yeah, we'll be of type char. And this can of course hold a single letter or a single number value in quotation marks. Now down here, we can actually, I'm just going to remove this part here. I don't need it. And we can just say sleep 5000. Cool. Now in this part here, we can start assigning values to our variables. For example, age becomes 15. Take note, we use a colon and an equal symbol. This is referred to as becomes. And then we could use this variable. So write line, and here we could specify I am age years old. So right here we have a write line that says I am, and we use a comma here. So after this quotation mark, we use a comma to say we're going to start something new. We put in this age variable, which will display 15, and we say years old, again in quotation marks. If we run this, we get I am 15 years old. Cool. Now we could go here and we could change this to, let's say, 20. Now it will display 20 years old. Now you might be wondering, okay, but what is the use of this? When will this ever be useful? So let's say instead of using this variable, we said 12. And tomorrow I will be 13 years old. But now this is, I am 12 years old, and tomorrow I will be 13 years old. And I could say, right line, my name is Jack. Jack, and let's actually do this like that. Jack is a cool name. But I want to, I'm just going to go to a new line here. Change my name to Nick. I also like watching TV. Alright, so now here we have a few lines where it says, I'm 12 years old and tomorrow I'll be 13 years old. My name is Jack. And let's also specify the age here again. Jack is a cool name, but I want to change my name to Nick. I also like watching TV. If we run this, we'll get what we expect. So I'm 12 years old, wada. Now, let's say here, we forgot to make this a capital case J. Now, okay, this is just one place, so we can just go like that. Now, imagine this program was 50,000 lines. Not just 3, but 50,000 lines. This was a 50,000 line story. If we run it, we'll get what we expect now, Jack with a capital J. Now, let's say we're done with the story, but we want to make the character a bit more older, so they're a bit more mature. Now we're saying, okay, we want to change the character from 12 years old to 34 years old. And now here we go, 34. And then you run the program, but then you notice, oh wait, I forgot at the other 50,000 places to change this out. So now here, instead of 13, we have to go 35. And let's say here, they're already 35. So this is the next day. So now 35, 35, 34. This is somewhat confusing. And imagine this is just 3 lines. So if this was like 1,000 lines, this would be horrible because now you'd have to go and figure out what you got to change. Now let's say we brought variables in here. So now we have age, which is 20, first name, which becomes Jack, and hobby, which becomes watching TV. There we go. So now here our 3 variables has been given values. Now here we could replace all of these with our variables. So I am 34, we could just use quotes here, say age. And here we're 35, we can say age plus 1. So now age will be plus 1. Then here we have a name, so now we can say first name, and here we could say age plus 1. And here we could again say first name is cool, but I want to change my name to Nick. I also like watching TV. And here we could specify hobby. Now if we run this, we'll get what we expect. So I'm 20 years old and tomorrow I will be 21. My name is Jack, 21 years old. Yeah, a little fast. Jack is a cool name, but I want to change in my name to Nick. I also like watching TV. Let's say we want to make the character older. Now we can just change one line and we do like 40. Now the character will be 40. I'm 40 years old. I will be 41. Jack, 41. And imagine this was hundreds of thousands of lines that you had to write here. And just so changing one line, you changed it everywhere. Same with first name. Let's say instead of Jack, you want to go Mike. Run that. I'm 40 years old. Name is Mike. Mike's a cool name, but I want to change it to Nick. That is cool. And as for watching TV, you could change this to anything else. Watching anime. Run this. And now I like watching anime. Now, halfway through the story, our age does get older. And we don't always want to just add +1, +1, +1 everywhere we use age. So we can say age becomes age plus 1. So we're saying age becomes 40 plus 1. So now age is 41. So here we could just say age. We don't need to specify plus 1 anymore. Same with name. Here the name changes to Nick. What we could do is we could still specify first name. But now we could go first name becomes Nick. So now we reassigned, we put a new value inside of this variable here, inside of this box. And now we're using it here. And this is great because now we could run this and there's 41, Mike, Nick. And the nice part is even if we have 10,000 lines of code, we just have to change the instance where we need to. So instead of Nick, we say we want to change it to Jack. One place and all the lines following that place will have the same variable value. So whilst these will work off of these variable values, after this one here, this age will be a different value. And this first name here will be a different value after this. This might be a bit confusing at the beginning, but the idea is that you just kind of understand what a variable is. You might not understand the use case that well yet. Now, sometimes you want variables, but they should only store values. They should not ever be able to change. If that is the case, you would want a constant variable, something that will always be constant and never change. For example, const. When you declare this, anything after this is a variable that will be a constant. So let's say VAT. VAT is 0.15. You don't have to specify the data type. They will figure it out for you. In this case, they know this is a real or a double. Now we will always know what VAT is. And take note, I'm making this all camel case or all capital case. So I know this here is a constant value. And then here you could do something like VAT value. So to split these, you could use snake case. Anyhow, now this is a constant value. It cannot be changed. And take note, it uses an equal symbol and not a becomes. Now we're just going to remove these. We could say, right line, VAT is VAT. Like that. We run it, it's like a normal variable. So VAT is, and it do add a few things here, but you don't have to worry about these extra values. Anyhow, so now VAT has been set, and we cannot go VAT becomes 99.1. We cannot do this. You'll see we get an error here that says left side cannot be assigned to. So VAT cannot be assigned to this because VAT is a constant. It will never change. This is just so you don't have to repeat the same value over and over and over again. But you don't ever want it to change either. And then finally, let's take a look at this character. We can just say letter becomes C. As simple as that. Now we have a letter. We can go right line letter like that. Run it and we'll get C. That's just so you know what a letter is, but you cannot add anything else here. Otherwise we'll get an error that says incompatible types, char and string. And that's the basics of variables and how to use them. But thank you for watching. I hope you all enjoyed, and I will see you all again in the next tutorial.